Welcome back to the Cowboy Bros podcast. Jason and I just got done discussing fantasy football, owner shenanigans, and tasks and rules that, frankly, we could do without, or we'd rather see be instituted in leagues. Yeah, Jason, you not playing for money may be the purest form of the enjoyment for the sport. The one thing that I didn't mention as a commissioner, what I absolutely hate is having to go um, shake down people that have the money. Like, fam, why the fuck I got to see you at your job about this $50?
You use the term shakedown. I'm imagining you showing up to somebody's house with a baseball bat in your hand, ready to take out somebody's knees for $50. So
It's like, you know, it's so frustrating being commissioner. And if, because it should be just, hey, pay your fucking money. And instead, it's got to be another negotiation. Speaking of negotiation, Jason, we've been talking about OnlyFans for at least the first 19 episodes of this podcast.
not that we're only fans of OnlyFans here, but it's obviously a big deal. It affects a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. OnlyFans, and a bit of a role reversal. Um, they were, and I'm referencing Bloomberg here, they were slated to bar sexually explicit videos starting in October. This was, frankly, it pissed off a lot of sex workers because that's how sex workers were charging customers online. And according to Bloomberg, popularity of the website has exploded during the COVID-19 pandemic. Starting in October, the company will prohibit creators from posting material with sexually explicit conduct on its website, which many sex workers use to sell fans explicit content. They'll still be allowed to put up nude photos and videos, provided they're consistent with OnlyFans policy, the company said Thursday. Now, we want to be clear, OnlyFans is not specifically for pornography. There are a multitude of creators, not just sex workers, musicians, online influencers that use it to charge fans for content, access to videos, photos, other sort of non-tangible items. And this thing, I knew OnlyFans was big once Beyonce started talking about it in songs. I didn't know OnlyFans had attracted more than 130 million users per Bloomberg. Mainstream celebrities like Bella Thorne, Cardi B, and Tyga have also set up accounts. Now, this was reversed later, but a lot of the push behind this was because banking partners and payment providers, your MasterCards, your Visas, they were putting pressure on OnlyFans because they effectively, OnlyFans is trying to get more money. So I'm referencing The Guardian. OnlyFans had stated they were going to ban that content only to reverse course a couple days later, literally 5 days later. So, Jason, my question for you, really, after I've referenced all of those stats, is what's your opinion of OnlyFans? Number one, just as a platform. Number two, um, the fact that sex workers feel like they're always, pun intended, getting dicked around when it comes to trying to, legally make a buck.
You just had to throw that pun in there, didn't you?
What did I'm not throwing it anywhere. It's a family show. Let's start there.
Good point. Good point. We want to capture the younger demographic with this topic, of course. But to answer your question, in general, although I don't use or never have been a patron of the site, it serves a purpose. I mean, whether you hate the industry or not, I know you were saying, we mentioned yesterday that why does America hate sex workers? Well, I don't think people do. I think the fact that the numbers dictate the fact that people pay for the service, they may outwardly say one thing about it, but if they're paying for it, then it doesn't really matter. So,
Jason, I think it does though. That was the whole premise behind, OnlyFans, failing to potentially get some financial backing is because America, I mean, OnlyFans is an international enterprise, but America is well known for how at times prudish we can be on Front Street, but then we let the freak flag fly, if it were. Try saying that 3 times fast, behind closed doors. You know, for all we know, it's some bigwig at Chase who may be subscribing, but also, or MasterCard and Visa or PayPal, effectively saying, nah, you can't use our services to pay for these things. And that's really where I was approaching it from that perspective. It's like, yeah, a person could give in to the I say give in, and what I'm really meaning is it's a free fucking country. If you like that shit and it's legal, and you're using your money, go forth and prosper. But it seems like we love to bottleneck this. We want to we want to restrict it, and that seems very odd in the realm of free enterprise. Is where I was approaching it from.
well, regarding the enterprise of it, I mean, like you said, you mentioned OnlyFans changed its mind 5 days later, not even a full week. And I'm sure the like you said, it's all about the money. They don't want to lose none of it. They might have tried to gain some, they want to lose any of it, because the fact of the matter is, this is according to an article, Fortune.com, an article from the 19th of this month, August, that apparently OnlyFans, the company website, has over 7 million paying fans to pay those monthly subscriptions, and they have shelled out a total of $3.2 billion to its creators to this date. And the fan was the site's been around since 2016. You mentioned it got popular during probably during lockdown of the pandemic. Um, but that's a lot of money for OnlyFans. They take 20% of all money transacted on OnlyFans off the top. So whenever the company said, you know what, we're going to stop allowing certain content and you can only post this stuff, a lot of that money getting shelled out is for the stuff that they're trying to ban. So a lot of these creators are looking for other alternatives to post that same content that OnlyFans isn't allowing, finding other platforms where they can post that same content, make the same money they're making without losing the fans of their money. So I'm sure that played a role in OnlyFans changing their mind, because 20% of 3.2 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, Terrence. So they probably don't want to lose none of that. And just so we are clear, I did find an excerpt from the email sent to content creators from OnlyFans in regards to what had to change. And this little excerpt is this, but basically said, do not upload, post, display, or publish content on OnlyFans that shows, promotes, advertises, or refers to sexually explicit conduct, which means 1, actual or simulated sexual intercourse, including genital to genital, oral to genital, anal to genital, oral to anal between persons of any sex. 2, actual or simulated masturbation. 3, any exhibition of the anus or genitals of any person which is extreme or offensive, which quotations there. 4, actual or simulated material depicting bodily fluids commonly secreted during sexual conduct. So I'm sure people were probably cringing when I said that, some people anyway. but you get the point of what they're trying to ban. You can imagine why, visually at least. But what they were still allowing was simple nudity. You taking pictures, showing your body, stuff like that, and that's it. That was still being allowed. But pretty much all the stuff, like I said, was just mentioned that wasn't going to be allowed. That's what content creators were making their most money off of. 'Cause that's what people are paying to see. So, so yeah. So to me, that I agree with you. It's a money grab. They're not trying to lose all that money. If all these content creators went somewhere else, they're not going to make it. You mentioned certain celebrities have their OnlyFans pages, which they may or may not do nudity. But like Cardi B, Bella Thorne, Tyga, people like that, Black China, who, from what an article I was reading, and I'll pull it back up, are four of the top 10 OnlyFans moneymakers for obvious reasons because they're huge celebrities. The numbers I've seen, they're making millions of bucks a month just from their OnlyFans. Even Cardi B, who's only posted 6 times on her OnlyFans, but yeah, she makes like $1 million a month at least from that because her subscribers are paying $5 a month or week. That's a lot of people paying $5 for her to make that much money in a month. So, and obviously everyone's not making that much money there, but now again, I've never used OnlyFans, but I've come across a lot of people who have an OnlyFans page and they are heavy content creators. Um, and from what they tell me, they might not be making Cardi B money, but they're definitely making 6 figures or 5 figures from it. So, you know, from that aspect, you know, it might not be millions, but it's a lot of money for doing what they do. I'm sure it's a 7 day a week job posting content. I mean, we know some of that a little bit when it comes to what we do for the show. Obviously, not nudity or anything, but you know
For now.
that. Okay, folks, that was Terrence's voice,
I'm
not mine.
kidding.
Just
I'm
be
kidding.
just be clear. That was Terrence's voice, not Jason's. Okay, so send all your hate mail to him, not me. But but yeah, bro, it's they clearly had to change course. They're going to lose a lot of money. And again, I kind of when I saw this article before, those people I know that did OnlyFans, I was asking them, well, what are you going to do? Some of them were concerned about it. Some of them were like, you know what, I'm not worried about it because even if OnlyFans doesn't change their mind, but I know they will, I have other ways to do this. And I've even seen websites of certain celebrities wanting to create their own website for those content creators who are at the time going to be losing out on OnlyFans. Hey, come to my site. You can post what you want here. So again, people may not like it, but and not to say that the people who are content creators are prostitutes, but there's a reason that they say prostitution is the world's oldest profession.
I thought it was the second oldest.
Well, either way, point taken. Either way, the fact of the matter is, it's going to be around forever. Sex work is going to be there, whether we like it or not. It's not going anywhere. Now that we have the invention of the internet, it makes things a lot easier for those creators to do it. So yeah, it's stuff like this is here to stay. And I venture to say, and I'm sure they're out there that may not be as popular for whatever reason, but there's always going to be these other sites popping up as well for content creators to put their stuff there. In addition to OnlyFans to make even more money. So yeah, definitely. If you're not into it, definitely do like me and just you know don't indulge in it. But probably not much you can do about it to make it go away. So
Yeah, you sinners.
the power of Christ compels you.
Yep. I love it. Yeah, man. And with regard to the OnlyFans deal, I find that when uh, pay providers or vendors do policies like, oh, well, we won't allow adult entertainment companies to effectively conduct business. One, I find it to be anti-American. I find it to be anti-free enterprise. And most importantly, I consider it to be anti-woman because a lot of these content creators happen to be women. Um, and if someone happens to create content and they say they set a price and they have willing members of society willing to indulge, then that is literally free enterprise, my friends. So I cannot get jiggy with any of these bullshit restrictions from Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, any of that shit. This is not the first time, by the way, the adult entertainment industry has been dealing with these sort of shenanigans. It feels wrong. It felt wrong then. It's wrong now. And that's really all I'm going to say about it.
That's all. Nothing else.
Uh, well, you might want to share with your dear old buddy the handles of some of these friends of yours for research purposes on the fans.
I'm not going to comment on that, sir. I'm not going to. I'm not going to aid and abet in your life of sin, sir. So if you want to do that, do it on your own, sir. You don't need my help at all. Besides, I'm just a lowly co-captain, so you don't need me to do that.
Yes, periodically.
That's sarcasm.
Yep.
Because I'm still the captain now.
Yep.
Look at me.
Yeah. But that concludes our findings for now until Jason actually sees things my way on OnlyFans. Coming up next, we'll wrap up the show, episode 20, and we'll talk about what's potentially coming up next for the Cow Park Bros.